water is really important to me and to us, and you know, the nitrogen in the water and all the pesticides, and then it all goes right into Mecox Bay and right into Sag Pond and everywhere else.
What clearly is one of the biggest impacts to our surface waters is the way our septic systems are designed. It's an old technology, and when we flush our toilets, we're seeing more and more nitrogen, which is, you know, a component of our waste, entering our bays. It causes algae to grow.
When the algae dies and these massive blooms can't be sustained, they die and it falls to the bottom. And the bacteria take over, you know. And what they do is they deplete the oxygen. So what we had, you probably read about in the papers in the Peconic, where we had the massive fish kills the Atlantic menhaden, and that was because of oxygen depletion. They measured 0 oxygen over 4 hours, and they had a similar event after that. And these things aren't uncommon. These are occurring more and more and more. There are systems that can take the nitrogen out of your effluent. 80% of that comes from our waste. Southampton is more than half water. It is the engine of our economy. Everything that we do here depends on its quality in one way or another. We're highly dependent on it.
I work farmers markets and took my daughter out on the kayak, and we were going to go for Memorial Day weekend, and that's when Shinnecock Bay was closed. They did open it up the day before Memorial Day weekend, but I was like, do I want to go clamming and get some clams that may have been poisoned by saxotoxin yesterday, but today they're telling me they're okay? So no, so we didn't go clamming, and my customers didn't get clams. And I want my daughter to be able to go clamming, and I want other people to be able to go clamming without worrying about saxotoxin poisoning.
I remember hearing the stories of my grandfather, how his father used to go out clamming, catch the eels, catch the scallops, you know, go crabbing. That's a way of life for our people, you know, and not just for the Shinnecock people, but for people who are residents here in Southampton.
Many people made their livings from the bays and the waterways, and not so much anymore. But I like the idea of aquaculture programs, and I like the idea of starting to give the restorative measures and restoring the bays and beaches.
If we get kids, all the schools on board, start them with these programs. Could you imagine all the school districts in our area going out and farming oysters? And
Actually, the kids could make money off of it.
Yeah, well, I think it can be an economy. I think absolutely can be an economy. If you run an aquaculture program, you commercialize it in a way that's responsible. People gain an ownership of the base because it's part of their living. They protect it more because it's part of their life. And that will assure us that in the future generations, they will protect it because it's part of their heritage, much like the Shinnecock Nation, much like people who have lived here and done it. Technology got us into this problem. I think technology will get us out of it.